Welcome to episode 4 of the Pivot Podcast. Last week I was out handling some military duties, my annual training. It was super duper hot, man, and it was crazy. Freaking soldiers was catching COVID left and right. So I'm glad I was able to make it out there alive. So yeah, again, welcome to episode 4. Me gonna introduce the guys. We got JM.
What's up, man? Another day, another dollar.
What's up, Chan?
What's up, people? How y'all doing tonight?
To
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
Hey, you got that red cup?
Hey, brother. Hey, I've departed from the red cup. I only drink water every day.
Z, what's up?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain, man.
Heard that, man. So it's what?
Saying just trying to survive this COVID, man.
Oh yeah. This different variant on some curveballs, man. I know Mississippi's it's tough, and the governor putting in some measures that may be questionable, but hey, I guess he's doing the best he can. So yeah, let's get started, man. We got some good topics we're gonna discuss today. We're gonna talk about the NIL deal with the NCAA, the importance of managing money, single and multi-parent households, and our perspective on that. And then we're gonna get into expectations for our significant others. And let's so jump off to this topic 1 in this NIL deal with the name, image, and likeness. It's gonna pretty much give college athletes the opportunity to get paid big money. I know it's gonna happen eventually. So it finally happened. I know a couple of years ago they was talking about it. I think California was the first to put forth those things in place to get those athletes paid in that region. And it's gonna be man. I'm for athletes getting paid, but I don't know. I know Alabama quarterback, he played 3 downs. He made 900,000 already.
That's crazy, bro.
Ooh, that's good money.
900,000.
That's good money, man. That's life changing.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, when you look at it though, when you think about it, like, who else should the money go to? Because these colleges, and it kills me, bro, when they keep saying, "Well, you got a scholarship." Yeah, you done got a scholarship, man. But man, I just feel like they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Tyrus, I think you for sure can put more light on this topic since you play that next level and you have some oversight.
Man, listen here, brother. I wish I could front and be like I was on that big college level. You know, I was on a small level, but at the same time, I just think back to when I did play ball, man. If I could get that kind of money, man, I was poor. You know what I'm saying? I was barely making it. You know, we don't all went to school. I was barely making it. So, man, the only thing that scares me, man, like, true enough, with this money, it's gonna become a business. You know,
right.
Like, I mean, it's gonna be about way more than football now, because now you got to answer to Uncle Sam. You got to pay taxes on that money. And if I recall correctly, they were saying like the schools really can't have anything to do with it, you know.
Right.
And so now, who's gonna come in now to make sure you're doing right, you know, by your money. So it adds a whole nother aspect of being a student athlete.
Yeah, I think this takes away from the student athlete ideal. The student athlete ideal. So, I mean, think about it, right? If I'm a athlete that came from a poor household, now over summer, I'm going to bring in $1 million.
Yeah.
Now, those people I graduated with, my cousins, my maybe brothers, and they all came up behind me looking for handouts. That's going to be a big distraction, I think. How can I, as an 18, 19-year-old, put forth really the maximum effort to try to get to the next level when I got aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins asking for a handout? And I think that's my big thing about it.
Man, let me say one more thing. I think too, it's a disadvantage for some of the smaller D1 schools, because you think about it, man. You got an Alabama athlete, like you said, a quarterback that ain't even took a snap in college yet, and he's getting almost $1 million. Okay, you could take a quarterback that's at, say, Cincinnati,
right?
that started for 3 years, and probably ain't got no offers lined up.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So now when you go, if I'm a coach and I come into your house, you gotta bring that up.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta bring that up, man. And I would use that quarterback at Alabama as an example everywhere I go. If I'm an Alabama coach, look at what he getting. You know,
Mhm.
just because they assume he gonna be the starter, you know, and they, you know, they assume we gonna be one of the top schools in the nation. And look at what you can do with that.
Right.
So
JM, you're a sports management major. What you think about it?
It's perfect. I mean, this the way it has to be, because it's unconstitutional. It's been that way to say what a kid can make outside of his organization. Like you really can't stop somebody from making money from their own likeness, their own name. Then that's not even really the reason that the NCAA made this move. The real reason was because they was trying to form like other leagues to
Yeah.
compete against the NCAA. So
Mm.
that's really the main reason they made this move, to combat that. Because if they didn't, especially like in basketball, you've seen those players going overseas.
Right. Right.
Like, so
Mhm.
it's not even really about what's going on like on the college landscape. It's about those other leagues that's forming. So they tried to make a move to combat that before it even happens. So that was the real reason, because they was gonna lose their money. They was gonna lose players. So they try to just get I guess ahead of the game before it actually takes off, those small leagues. But if you ask me, I think it's just unconstitutional for the NCAA to be like, you can't receive money from outside sources based on your name. If you playing college football, you gotta, of course, you gotta abide by the rules and all that stuff. But if somebody want to give me $1 million just for being me, I mean, come on.
So, do you think this gonna have a negative impact on the athlete?
No, I mean, you gotta think about it. It's not like they're gonna get that much. I mean, yeah, you see $1 million. I mean, it looks good, but that's gonna make them even hungrier to make to the NFL. I mean, it's not gonna change that much. Like I said, it's just like those other leagues that's forming up. They getting paid for that still.
Right.
Like LaMelo
Right.
Ball still getting paid over there, but it's not like it's NBA money. You know, it's not life
Yeah.
changing. So it's like I said, they just try to get a jump. That's all. I mean, they did the right thing. They should have been made this move, because, like I said, it's been unconstitutional. You cannot take somebody's free right to make money from outside sources just by playing college football. Even the government said that's it's not right.
Oh yeah. I for sure think it's unconstitutional. My thing is, like I mentioned before, just that the athlete that came from nothing, and the people who's behind them, who you got to carry. I don't know, Shannon.
Oh man, for me, man, y'all all touch so much, man. But I think it's a positive thing. I think it's groundbreaking. I think it's revolutionary.
Yeah.
Reason being is because like you cannot. It's just like art. You cannot take away somebody's name, image, and likeness. You know, we all
Mhm.
Right.
deserve to get paid for that. You know, it's like robbing me of who I am. You get what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like you can
Right.
own, you own the school, you own the jersey, but I'm the reason people are coming to see this school in this jersey. So I think it's only fair. Because millions and millions of dollars have been made off the name, image, and likeness. Think about to the NCAA, you know, even football games. Like when we played games like we used to, like all those college players that was on the face of those games didn't receive $1. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
those games sold based off of those
Right.
name, you know, the NIL, their name, image, and likeness, like the Reggie Bush and so on and so forth. But I think Jan touched on the topic earlier, like the NCAA jumped on the ball because there was other leagues being created. Look at the Ball brothers. You get what I'm saying? They didn't
Mhm.
go to college,
Yeah.
and they all went. Like LaMelo. What's the other one name?
Um,
They name so
well,
similar. I
Lonzo
don't know
went
what's
to
similar.
college.
Yeah,
Lonzo.
Lonzo.
Lonzo went to college for a year, but I think the Big Baller brand kind of
Right. They made
exposed.
them.
They kind of exposed the NCAA,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
really just by their name in that league that they dad made, but it's because
Mhm.
LaMelo went overseas and other
Yeah.
players were trying to follow suit.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was getting to. Like they had to push them to play overseas so they could
Mhm.
focus on getting the money. Like, he was like, if you want my boys, they deserve to get paid. And
Right.
which is
Right.
true. All the college students deserve to get paid. I mean, even not as an athlete, but as a college student, you know the struggles of not having anything. So and look at all the players that didn't make it because they got in trouble for not having money. You get what I'm saying? Like look at all the ones that didn't make it far in the draft or didn't make it high up because they, done foolish
Right.
or stupid things because they needed financial, uh, a reason, a financial backing, like they, getting in trouble for money just to eat, just the basic necessities, So
Right.
I think it's a positive. In regards to what Kendrick was saying, like getting too much money. I think with that, I mean, you gonna be who you're gonna be. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
but that's also a limit amount of people because I know those guys gonna get that because they not like Tyra said at those big schools. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
somebody versus Alabama not gonna get that same check as somebody versus
Yeah.
USM. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or something like that. So it's gonna vary. It's gonna always have its problems. So you got to find that balance. But I think it's positive, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Good deal. What you got, Z?
Oh, Channing took the words right out of my mouth. They should have been taking care of them boys a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Struggling and everything, trying to get through 4 years of college. You know what I'm saying? So, like he said, they got to go out there to try to get money and stuff, but to keep them from doing that, though, and keep them out of trouble so they have probably not getting kicked out of school, too, to try to make some money, pay the boys so they can get by and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like Jamaica said, they're going to make them grind hard and want to get to the NFL because they see the money they're making now. Oh, I wanted the big bucks. I'm gonna definitely grind now so I can get there and make that. So pretty much just agree on Chan. He pretty much took what I said, but they should have just took care of them balls years ago.
All right, good deal. Yeah, a great topic and great points from everybody. I'm excited to see what this year's going to bring with this name, image, and likeness deal going forth, and then what opportunities gives those younger athletes who probably went and made that amount of money in the NFL, but to give an opportunity here. Because I know we read about tons of athletes who may show up their freshman and sophomore year and get hurt and never make it to that big level.
Yeah.
But it's for sure opportunity for those athletes to get paid and set their families up for success and long term. So while we're talking about money, let's roll to the next topic and talk about the importance of managing money. I know for myself, just been exposed to some things at a young age, some negative things, not knowing how to manage money, not knowing how to spend money, just not knowing really what money is and what credit is. Freshman year of college, and I'm going to I call our mall the outdoor shopping center.
Yeah.
But man, getting 7 credit cards freshman year, like, man,
Really?
All right, credit cards, here we go. Spend, maxed out. But when our bill came, I'm like, oh shoot, I can't pay for this.
Yeah.
I can't pay for this. So and that goes to just the things I've seen growing up and not having the exposure to how to manage money and how to spend money, how to save money. So let's go around the horn, just talk about the importance of managing money and just some experiences. If you want to share some experience you had growing up and where you're at now, and some feedback you can give the audience.
Yeah, just what's that?
Oh, go ahead. Miami cut you off. Go ahead.
Raise his hand, man. Go ahead.
Man said he in class. What you got,
You know
James?
what I'm saying?
No, I just seeing like having good finances and good credit coming up. I just didn't think those things was realistic or obtainable because you never saw it.
Right.
Never really from anybody, if anybody, maybe one person here or there, but you just thought they just had, I don't know, maybe good jobs or something like that. I don't know, but I just didn't think those things was realistic. But the older you get and the more you learn, you go to school. Really, really, you don't even really need school to know these things, but you live and learn and you understand once you get money and you start like the small things, just put your own money in the bank, let it save up.
Right.
And let it build up, and you start seeing $10,000, $15,000 in your own savings account. So it's like, okay, now when you see yourself start making money, you can do more, get good credit, you can do more, you can get more things. You can pretty much get, I ain't gonna say everything you want, but the things you do want, you can get it. You don't have to go ask no one for anything because you got it. And I think the biggest thing that I learned so far at this age is to not borrow money. Like I said, I think the biggest thing and the easiest thing to do is just put money in your savings and borrow money from yourself. That way you don't gotta look for a lender to get you some money. Then you have an interest rate that you gotta pay back. So
Right.
I think that's just the small things. But as times go on, you see people starting to start their own business. I think that's a good thing to do. But you got to take your own money and invest it. I mean, you will never make it if you don't invest your own money. Put into stocks, put into your business, but you gotta be willing to just take that chance and stop going out every weekend, to clubs and stuff, or buying Jordans. And I mean, you can take that money, just invest it or put it into your savings. You don't gotta have flashy cars or flashy clothes all the time. So just take that money and just let your money make money. So
Right. You brought up interest rate, right? When did you find about an interest rate? What was interest?
I think when I got my first new car off the lot, and still even after that, I still didn't really understand it.
Right.
But I mean, like I said, once you that door opens and you get in there, like, okay, that's what an interest rate is. That's what having good credit and having lower interest rates, because there's a lot of people on the market who can take advantage of you. If you don't
Right.
understand those things, you're going to get cars just because you need one, and all of a sudden your car can be 20,000, but you're having a 25% interest rate. Instead of paying 20,000, you're paying freaking 35,000. So you're paying 15,000 extra dollars because you don't understand what interest rate is. So
Yeah.
they're not really doing you no favors. You think they are because
Right.
they gave you a car. But like I said, that's why you gotta understand why having good credit is important. You just learn those things. So the better your credit, the lower the interest rate.
Yeah, you brought up some good points. So you can, like I said, you can find out through experience or you can find out through exposure. I recommend find out through exposure, because that experience, like, you'll learn it. It's gonna come up and bite you. But just like with anything in life, you have an opportunity to bounce back. We just got to do it right. What you got, Shannon?
Oh man. Well, to be honest, man, if I think we all can agree that if you don't have good credit, you go struggle in life. I mean, and finances, well, managing your finances is what's going to pretty much determine your life. And that's a sad thing to say, but let me explain. Like for me, for instance, like I'm not rich by no means. I don't have money stacked up in the bank, but at the same time, I can go buy anything that I want. And that's to some people that might not be enough. Some people might want to hold, cash in their hands, but
Yeah.
I got to that point by managing my money. You get what I'm saying? And keeping good credit. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're not rich, you don't come from a rich family, you got to have good credit. And managing credit, managing finances, nobody's at fault. It's gonna all be trial and error. Because some people are educated, some people tell you, parents hand down, knowledge, or you get it through trial and error. You didn't know, you had to find out, you get a high interest credit card, I learned about it being a college student. I got approved for a credit card, and I didn't, max out anything. I used it accordingly, but it was still, I was okay with it until I found out and read the paperwork. You get what I'm saying? When I
Right.
read that paperwork, I'm like, wait a minute, this high interest rate. So, immediately once I got knowledge of what was going on and how much money they was making off me, and I could be mad at them because that's business. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you said, if you don't read the fine print, you don't know what you get. Just like
That's
Jim
right.
Michael said with the interest rates, like bro, if you could buy that same amount of car at the price they selling it for, but if your credit is bad, you go buy it 2-3 times. I'll be
Buying the
honest with
same
you.
car 2 times, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna all be trial and error, and it's gonna be based on. I mean, like I said, without credit, life is gonna be difficult because you can't move and you can't. It's like basically going to work and having your check taken away from you every pay period.
Every page.
Yeah.
Yep.
Done
And
been
it's
there.
like you beating yourself. You running a race you can't win. But I encourage everybody to manage your finances accordingly. If you mess up, that's cool. Pick yourself up. Learn from your mistakes. Don't repeat them. Because, like I said, I mean, I learned from my mom what she did with her finances, but nobody got the game plan. I didn't get everything from that knowledge. You get what I'm saying? Because she didn't get everything. So
Right.
it's gonna always be, an ongoing process. Now I feel like I know a little bit better, and I share that with, we share that with each other. We talk about, credit and finances, and I share that with my friends. We all talk about it. But now, like my little cousins that come after me, I coach them up like, hey man, make sure your credit's great. Make sure you, don't spend every dollar, enjoy your life, buy yourself nice stuff, whatever you into, enjoy that. But don't put your finances in shambles just to, go buy something nice, like Jim Michael said with I ain't mean to drop your whole government, cuz, but
Yeah, I know. I think you Z and maybe Ken call me Jan Michael. It's weird
But,
because I never even hear that name anymore.
but regarding, don't go get a loan, just sometimes we all fall short because of our patience when it comes to finances. And that, loan right now may seem like the best thing, but like if you can make it within the next pay period, why create an extra bill for some money right now? Like why go, let's just use the reference. Why go borrow $1,000 and pay back $2,000 when you could have just, rolled it out
And
to the next pay period?
can I say something real quick? And that's
go
why I
ahead.
think it's important to have like a credit card. That when you gotta take those loans out just for a backup, because credit cards also help build your credit,
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
got
say
to
just
good
max
credit
them
to get that right credit card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I get credit, but I'm just saying those are reliable instead of going to get loans out when your funds get low.
Mhm.
You can use that credit card to buy food or gas until you get your reach your pay period. So
Mhm.
But
That's why I like to encourage everybody to learn how to build your credit.
mhm.
And it takes time, but bottom line, you got to handle your responsibilities. You cannot get a loan or a bill and not expect not to pay it. And that's what a lot of fault people have. They create these bills and they don't handle them, responsibly. Like you go get a car or I pay it sometime. Then when it's time you need to buy something or where you got to use your credit, it's difficult,
Right.
So, manage your money wisely. That's my take on it.
T.O.
man, a second ago, JM said something about investing, and man, like that's of course that's so important, man. But so many people talk about it, but don't really understand how to invest. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Or don't really understand how money works. Like a good friend of mine, man, a couple years ago put me on this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I don't know if y'all have read it or not, but bro, it changed my life. And
Mhm.
now I haven't made all the moves for it, but I understand just how money works totally. I see it way different than I did a while back. And it was just simply saying how, the rich dad lived a more comfortable life, because his money was working for him. He had assets. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? The poor dad had the mentality of how I was brought up.
Check
Hey,
and
you
check.
got this job, you make your money, you put your money in the bank.
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff sound good, but if you ain't putting enough money in the bank, bro, your money ain't making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just told, how important it was, just to invest your money wisely, how to let your money, work for you, and where you can sit back and chill and do a lot of the other stuff. But bro, I come from the country. I grew up with my mom telling me, basically like that poor dad, be a hard worker, put your money in the bank. That's what she knew.
Right.
But at the same time, she wasn't able to really save no money. You know what I'm saying? A single parent, making above minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? Everything she had was going on bills, groceries, and her kids. And so just growing up, I had that same mindset: work hard, work hard, work hard. You know what I'm saying? And I think most of us came up like that, working hard, but at the same time, simply working hard and not spending your money wisely still leave you broke.
Mhm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can
Preach.
still be a hard worker and be broke. And I think that's what everybody has to grasp. I think that should be one of the goals to teach our kids before they leave the house of how to save money first and foremost, how to not spend, outside your means, like that, bro. That's just as important as some of the basic, essentials we teach our kids.
Yeah.
That should be taught in school. Like that should be definitely
Should.
college, but that should be a high school course, man.
Oh, I definitely
Yeah,
agree.
I definitely agree with that.
Some countries it is, unfortunately not for us.
Say what?
I said in some countries it is, but
Oh, yeah,
unfortunately
yeah.
not for us.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like countries like China and Japan, they teach them well.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got a different system. Ain't gonna take it there. But in other countries, they do teach them, the power of the dollar.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to chime in quick, because I know I didn't say my piece, but
Hey,
if your
no,
money
floor is
is not,
yours.
no, I'm mad. But if your money's not making money, you're gonna struggle,
Yeah.
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 and you're not gonna be able to pass nothing to your kid, because you can make money and let it save in your bank account, but that money's not making no money in your bank account. It's just, it's just sitting for your access and waiting for you to
Yeah.
grab it. But if you want to make money, you want to pass money down to your kids, learn how to make your money make money, and that's pretty much the gist of Rich Dad Poor Dad. But I didn't say my piece. I just want to throw that in there.
Yo, so Tyra said don't like teaching your kids. Like, it's 2021. We really ain't got to do that much teaching with social media. We
Listen.
just gotta expose them to the right content on social media. The social media can teach them. I mean, it's we didn't have it. I graduated high school in 2008, college in 2013. From that period of time, social media has influenced so much in people making money and
Yes.
people managing money. Like, it shouldn't be any reason our
Yeah.
kids these days shouldn't know how to manage money.
I want to say one more thing real quick. I think we're all still pretty young to where, man, like it's so easy to make money. I know we stuck in our own ways sometimes, but if you really wanted to, you can make money in 2021. Like it's very easy, but you gotta put you just gotta do it, man. I mean, a lot of people just don't want to take that risk because they think they may lose something, but it's actually easy nowadays to make money.
JM, we touched on that a couple episodes ago, man, because like I say, I'm one of those people with those risks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
yeah, you're right.
I think a lot of people are, you get intimidated, or especially like I said, if you consider yourself to be the bread runner in your
Right.
household, you know what I'm saying? Like you sort of get scared to take that chance, because if some people can't afford to fail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, for me, I think, man, I just wish I could, if I had a do-over, bro, and could go back about 10 years and just change, right, man, stuff I know now, I wish I just knew back then. And so now it's just up to me. And like you said, Kendrick, it's so much they can get off social media, YouTube and all that. Kids becoming millionaires in a room.
Easy.
Yeah, but see, the information is out there, but if we don't encourage them to learn that information, that's why we still have to tell them, like, hey, learn how to manage your money and make money, because the information always been out there. We didn't know about it when we grew up, but it's been available.
I know who ain't making money no more. OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, they done.
They got about a month or so.
They done. Hey, some people that came up on that.
Love to see it, man.
They were making that bread on OnlyFans, boy.
Huh? Hey, Z, what you got on that this topic, man? The importance of managing money.
All I got to say is, if I wasn't buying all the fresh Air Force Ones every week going to the Hunt Club, I would have been a man right now.
The Hunt, the man will hunt. The man will hunt.
Hunt Club.
Yeah, he frozen up.
With all that money, I was trying to go back and look at it all the time. Like, man, if I knew about managing all that money, I could have been sitting on somebody that probably had some real estate or something though. Like, I ain't realized how important money was until I really looked back and just looked at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
yeah.
I blew like a lot of money then, like, and that's how I learned how managing money is very, very important. Every single dollar counts, every penny. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the savings account, everything. You know what I'm saying? And let it just pile up. That stuff is really, really important. Especially like Channing said, your credit score. Credit score is everything. Credit score is life. You can't do nothing too much about your credit score. I mean, even if you got the money, sometimes though, you still need that credit score to do what you got to do, because you can be. Of course, you have $1 million, but your credit score ain't good. People still might not want to fool with you though. You know what I'm saying? Even though you got this $1 million, so your credit is everything. And I do wish we was taught them more back in school. You know what I'm saying? We all probably would have been in a better position, though. But it's good now that we have those sources, like you said, to teach the kids. You know what I'm saying? So they can learn them. Like you said, Ken, we get directed to the right source and they can learn though. You know what I'm saying? So they all gotta be making the same mistakes, we all did growing up. But it really is important. Like, so if I can go back in time and change it, like I would have been probably sitting good right now myself. I ain't gonna lie, but that's pretty much it, because y'all pretty much just summed everything up. So
Yeah, man, managing money it's important. Like I told you earlier, I made my mistakes and I got myself back right just through those experiences, and then exposing myself to the right content. And I have no complaints now. Family eating, we straight. But while we're talking about family, let's move on to the next topic, and let's talk about our perspective of a single and multi-parent household. I know everybody in this group can talk about this, and I think we all come from either a single or multi-parent household, and how that really affect our upgrowing, our decision making, and just and how it influences our where we're at today in life. So JM and Z, we're brothers. Uh, Mom and dad been together since forever. Still around this wave together. Uh, Mom really sit, she wasn't the breadwinner, so dad was bringing home the money, paying bills, working those hard hours, and that's what I seen growing up. I see my dad working hard. So for my perspective is, hey, I'm a man, so I gotta work hard. And I think that's really just pushed over to my adulthood today. I don't want my wife to work like too hard, but I see myself as a breadwinner. I see myself as the one making sacrifices to make sure bread is on the table. The house is paid for, the car is paid for. So yeah, what about you guys' perspective on a single and multi-parent household? Let's go to T.O.
Oh man. Man, I grew up in a single parent, household. So and it bothers me when they say, the mom had to play both roles. At the end of the day, and now, your mom can only be your mom.
Right.
She has to do a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because, in a multi-family household, you got your dad and all that. But so, yeah, she has to do more. So, my mom was superwoman. But man, it took me a while to, I put it like this. I can see now, being that I'm married with kids, I see now what I missed out on earlier on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have that figure there, constant in the household. I didn't have that figure there on a daily, that I could watch on how to be a man. So as I grew up with expectations on how I thought a man was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I bet I messed up some relationships just being arrogant, cocky.
Right.
Thinking, hey, this is how I supposed to act. This is what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't until later on, just say meeting my wife who grew up with her mom and dad, and with her seeing how her dad act and seeing what her dad did. She came into the relationship with expectations of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it blew me off. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like now, man, I mean, sometimes you can't hit it. I'm sure there are a lot of mothers or a lot of fathers who wish they could bring their kid up in different situations. And it's not saying at all that you can't be productive, growing up in either one, or that you're going to be productive
right
in either one, but man, me and my wife are able to offer our kids so much more being together, in a household.
Yeah.
Shannon, what you got, man?
Oh man, shout out to the single parents once again. Another, come from a single parent household. I agree with Tio on what he's saying, man. I do hate the cliche, where mom had to pay both roles, unfortunately. Like I said, I was a single parent. For me, I think it's different for me because, like, I have cousins, friends who all come from multi-parent homes, and like I said, I come from a single, and like Tio said, I don't have kids, but at the same time, I do see what I didn't get or what I missed and all that type of stuff. And single parent kids, speaking from my perspective, it seems like the kids coming to single parent home are more ambitious than the kids that are come from a multi-parent home. The reason why I say, I've been working since I was 15, and that's not to disclaim anyone, because I know you guys been working since I was young too. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But majority of the people, not to say that multi-parent kids feel sheltered, but yeah, I know some, and I know some too. But it's a different type of lifestyle, and like having both parents, you get the access of what you need from your mother and what you need as a father. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I had to depend on Well, I ain't gonna lie. You know, my dad was a part of my life, but you need that aspect in your life on a day-to-day basis. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I mean, there's no one to blame on me being here, you know, but at the same time, it's like things that I need growing up. Um, I wish I would have had coming in a multi-parent home. And you know, unfortunately, me being in a single parent home, it put me in a situation like I grew up in the as those would say, the projects. You get what I'm saying? So I was forced to grow up at an early age. Most of the people I know didn't go through things that I had to go through, given that environment. So I would, and then when I have kids, like that's part of the reason why I haven't got them yet. Is like I might as well wait until I find that partner, and because I don't want no kid to pretty much go through what I went through. But there
Right.
is a catch-22 to that,
Uh-oh.
and I'm gonna wrap this up because I feel like as a parent, I'm speaking for you guys, but based on my knowledge, you want to give your child everything that you possibly can, the best life possible. But however, you know, in hindsight, like look at how I was brought up. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want to overdo it as well because it's
Right.
that little inch that you give that way you can hinder that child to where they depend on you for everything. So it's like you
Yep.
kind
Yep.
of so I want to give them everything. I want them to reach, you know, the sky's the limit, but at the same time, I don't want to give too much to where they don't be, you
Yeah.
know, dependent on themselves.
Right.
You know, like I want to motivate you to go get it. I don't want to hand it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
And plus, passing down things to the kid, you want to pass down knowledge, wealth, and so on and so forth, but you don't want to hinder them to be able to function on their own. You know?
Yeah.
But man, that's my little take on it.
JM.
Yeah, I just think you gotta have those. You gotta have the mother and the father in the household. To me, that's just the way it should be, because you got one thing, you got two different perspectives. I mean, if your mother is trying to raise a son, she may be teaching him things that may be uh, too womanized or too, uh, for lack of a better word, too feminine. So, the man can grow up, or the child, the boy, the man, and he may be think too much like a woman, or vice versa. Just a male just raising a daughter, she might be too masculine. So I think you just gotta have a good balance. You know, you gotta have the mother and the father, and also another thing, you got two incomes, so they can make the case for a better living. You two
Right.
two
Yeah.
two incomes, more you can get, more food on the table. You know, you don't
Mm.
gotta worry about struggling too much. Even though I know people still struggle, but y'all know what I'm getting
True.
at. You know, just
That's
more
true.
money
Right.
on
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah.
But I just think it's right. You know, because to me, I don't know anything else. That's all I know is a two-parent household. You know, your dad paying the bills, the mom's there to nurture you, give you everything you need when you get hurt, a boo-boo on your leg, you know, she makes it better. You know, the dad make you tough, you know. So it's a good balance. And then, you know, just also for me, I always told myself, no matter what, I will never let another man raise my daughter ever.
Facts.
Oh, he taking it
Never.
somewhere now, y'all. He
Facts.
taking it
So
somewhere.
Facts.
so it would, because
T.O., you whispering in the mic about to say something?
Yeah, he fired up.
He got
I
a
saw
cough
it
a
on
little
his
bit over there.
face,
Like,
man.
you know what? I say so wrong.
No,
ain't say nothing wrong.
no.
You ain't say
No,
nothing
I
wrong.
just don't believe in that. It's so you can't always be selfish when things go bad in a relationship,
Yeah.
or you know, just even when it's not and you just want something different. You can't look at it that way. You gotta put sometimes your kids before yourself, you know.
Right.
So you
Mhm.
gotta take care of your responsibility. So I would never allow another man to raise my kid ever. It's not even an option.
Let
So
me ask you this.
that's that.
My
Mhm.
bad, Jan. My bad, JM. Let me ask you this though, because that's ideal. I have two daughters myself. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's definitely ideal. But it's also sort of kind of well, it's not out of your control, but let's just say stuff just don't work. You know what I'm saying, in your relationship. Now
Mhm.
you really can't stop another man from having an input in your kid's life if you and your spouse not together. But
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying, because I mean, I feel that same way, but sometimes there are some unfortunate situations, and man, it's
My
not easy.
rebuttal to that is make better decisions who you talk to. A
Hey,
lot of people
hey,
don't want to. You make better decisions. You should know who you talk to. You should know who you married or who you had a baby
Yeah,
by.
when we
You
talking about
can't-
marriage, yeah, most definitely.
or just even just laying down with somebody, wear a condom. I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, oh well, I had a baby by this guy, but it didn't work out. No, you know who you laid down with. That's your fault. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You gotta know what you're doing in life. I mean, you make the decision, have a kid, even though you may be young, it's on you. I'm not gonna just
There's definitely no excuse for
you have
it.
to know what you're doing. It's not, I mean, it's easy to have a baby, but it ain't that easy. You know,
JM is back, y'all.
you got two people, you got two opportunities to protect yourself, and both of y'all chose the wrong route.
JM is
So-
back, y'all.
I mean, sometimes though, like I agree with Jamaica saying though, but sometimes though, well, JM, my bad. I agree with
I don't know what y'all call
no,
me.
I agree with what you're saying, but sometimes though, when people who married and stuff, sometimes they can have a perfect marriage and stuff all the way through and through a perfect relationship, and sometimes like Ty said, things just happen though to where it just don't work out. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning though, you know, I know people got to watch it sequence, but sometimes that perfect can be perfect at that time. You know, they could be in love and stuff happen though, but sometimes things happen. You can fall out of love someone later on down the line by mistake. You know, things it happen though. So that's why I agree with Tyrus too. Sometimes stuff happen though. You can be the perfect man. I mean, just because somebody you know, split up or whatever though, divorce or break up, don't mean that guy was a bad guy. I mean, him and the woman just a lot of love, you know. And sometimes I get what you're saying though, but you can't stop what could possibly happen though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I got kids, I don't want nobody to raise my child either, but I kind of agree with Tyra. Sometimes you just can't.
I mean,
you can't have one to take control of that, but you know,
like I said, that goes back to being picking the right partner. Then a lot of people just selfish. I mean, times gonna always get rough.
Yeah.
In a relationship, and a lot of people choose to walk away with ease. A lot of times, as a man, especially like a young part of your life, a woman will kind of stay if they see the man trying to, do the right thing. They'll try to stick around a little bit, but men most of the time will just leave. And I'm talking about not even just married; they'll have a baby and they just don't want to deal with it, so they'll just leave. But it takes a man to stay there and stay firm and be like, "No, I'm gonna raise my kid, I'm gonna raise my family."
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
What you got, Channing?
I disagree with that. I mean, nobody's wrong, but just to chime in what T.O. was saying, and what I think he was trying to get to is like, true enough. Now, when he, when say for instance, we get together, when we have a child, we got our aspects of being together forever, but we can't change how life happens. You get what I'm saying? Like, I could have been with that woman and I'm gonna love her for the rest of my life, but I can't change the fact if she don't want to be with me no more.
Yeah.
No matter how much I love her, no matter how much I do for her and give to her, I can't change that. And you can say that goes back to choosing your partner, but in that moment when I chose her, all the cause was right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, sometimes life just hit you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you want it to work out for the best. Those were the intentions, and sometimes like, it ain't always the guy's fault. Sometimes, man, I'm gonna play JM a little bit. These women run these guys off.
Yeah.
And so forth. And sometimes the guys, sometimes just be honest. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on both sides. Sometimes these women have baby with guys who just ain't shit.
Right.
I'm just telling the truth, but and it goes back to what JM said. That's why I said nobody's wrong. Like, you got to choose your partner correctly, but sometimes when you do that, you can't predict the future. You get what I'm saying? Because I could be with you, like I said, have intention to be with you forever, but if life hit us,
Right.
But when you say life's hitting you, that still goes back to your partner making the decision to depart. So it's not like it's like this astronomical decision. It's just, you gotta do things to make that woman see value in you and make her want to stay, and vice versa.
A relationship is two parts, not just me doing my part. She had to do hers as well. So if I show her that and she still want to leave, there's nothing I could do to make her stay.
Well, yeah, I know that, but you know how I feel about that. I mean, people, they can leave if they want to, but that's what I'm saying. Like, at least try to make the best decision on who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed,
I mean, it's not gonna always be perfect. I can only speak from my vantage point, of course, but I took it upon myself to be the man and stay firm. Like, no, we're gonna make this work We're gonna make it work.
Right.
We're gonna raise the kid, and we're gonna do the best we can to stay together. But a lot of times, people, like I said, keep being selfish, and this is a little stigma that we got in the Black community. Man, people just want to leave at their quickest convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, things ain't gonna always be perfect. I mean, people want things to be flawless, so we can't always do that. You know, I mean, we gotta compromise. So people gonna mess up in a relationship. Don't just leave. But a lot of times, people just leave.
That's
Off their-
true, but I hate that stigma because like, it's not always a one person fault. Like just to take it to you, you just said, like you said, you decided to make the decision. It worked because your partner made that same decision with you.
Right.
Y'all compromised because y'all had the same goal. And sometime in life, your partner can change your mindset. You know, sometimes you know that's what I'm saying. Like we can't predict that. That's why I say I disagree because like no matter what, I could be the perfect guy, she could be the perfect girl, but one of us could wake up tomorrow and be like, "This is not it." You
Yeah,
dig
but
what I'm saying?
I think what I'm saying is, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Somebody, if they just want to leave, they can leave.
Mhm.
A
Right.
lot of times the kid gonna go with the woman. But when I say, you know, just know who you're talking to, I mean, you're increasing the percentages of staying together.
Agree. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, sounds like that affection is coming up.
Y'all boys got to take
There
y'all
we go.
L when y'all can take y'all L,
Hey, it
man.
sounds like that affection is playing
That,
a decent
nothing to
role.
do with
man.
affection.
Hey, Tyler, you
keeping-
took that L, man, on your own page.
That had nothing to do with
I
affection.
count the numbers.
Counted all them.
Hey, Tyler
Hey.
did that Donald Trump. Stop the count.
You lying?
hey, while we talking about relationships and sounds like we're getting towards our next topic, those expectations for significant others. I know my expectations drew from what I seen growing up. My mom, my dad. Again, my dad worked the long hours. Brought in the bread for the family to eat, bills paid. So of course, my expectations getting into marriage is, oh shoot, I'm gonna be the breadwinner. My wife's gonna work for sure, but I don't expect her to carry the load.
Yeah.
And so for myself, I just really my expectations for my spouse to really just be available. I mean, carry your part. The parts we established pre-marriage for sure. But I expect myself for sure to carry the load and bring in the bread for the family. What you guys got?
When you say, go ahead, Z.
No, go ahead, Jamai.
When you say expectations, do you just mean as far as like the roles in the relationship, or you mean like standards and?
Yeah, that's y'all know we talked about roles before. Let's talk about standards. That's your expectation of your standard in the marriage.
Yes. Now I think that's very important. Set your standards and what you want in a relationship. Don't
Right.
go by somebody else's.
Yeah.
That's when you lose face value in yourself, and that's when you just accept anything. You set your rules in the person that you want, the standards. And if they start breaking those rules, then you shouldn't be with them because that's not the type of person you wanted. So don't just change yourself just to meet somebody else's qualifications. You should set your ground rules and set your standards. Then that's what you go by. Because I think every man and woman should have standards. I mean, that's just is how
Right.
it's
But when we talk about marriage, let's talk about a man and woman coming together to set those standards together. Not I'm a man, I'm finna set my standards, then a woman gonna set their standards, and the standards don't meet. Let's talk about man and woman marriage standards going into a long-term marriage. That
Wait,
makes
so
sense?
you mean once you get into a marriage?
Right, you're married, right?
Mhm.
You're going forward. Let's not talk let's not talk boyfriend girlfriend standards, that
Yeah.
type deal. Let's talk about
Well,
marriage.
I think what I was trying to get at is you set your standards from the get-go, then that carries on into the marriage and so on and so forth. That way, once you set your ground rules, they'll know what they expect from you.
I got
know
you.
what they expect from them once you be together for a long period of time.
Right.
That's really what I'm getting at. I mean, that's just set your standards in the type of person you want, the type of person you want to be with, type of person you want to be married to. And because once they start veering out, like for instance, I really don't just say a woman who's I say smoke cigarettes or something like that. We've been together. You know, one of my ground rules was I don't want somebody who smokes cigarettes. And all of a
Right,
sudden
yeah.
you start smoking cigarettes. And I'm like, oh no. See, you changing
Yeah.
on me.
So
Like, what you got-
that's non-negotiable things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But but as far as expectations in a marriage, you just know, of course, as a man, I want to be the breadwinner. I want to provide more because I want to take the pain of finances off her so much.
Yeah.
And you want the wife to take care of the house or the kids. And also, like I say, as a man in this day and age, you also want to do those things too. But sometimes women just bad at things like that.
Right.
So, but I mean, there's really, for me, there's no high expectations because I don't ask for much.
Yeah, same
So
here.
I don't really
Yeah,
want
when I say zero, like,
Yeah, I really don't want much.
are you breathing? We good. You know what I'm saying?
I just,
Yeah.
I mean, can I get my real answer? But I'm just keep it at this. I don't
No,
want much.
Nah.
Get
We
it out,
want the
man.
real answer. We want the real answer.
Maybe
Don't be
a-
fake.
Maybe
It's the
one or,
Pivot Podcast.
one or two things. I mean, like you said, I mean, what else what else do I? Because I can make my own money, and because I just want somebody to take care of the house, keep it up, because women just good at that. Help with the my daughter, just help me better as a person, give me advice when I'm messing up, help build my character, because you
Right.
as like yourself being in first person, you can't see who you really are sometimes. So you need somebody
Right,
to help
right.
build you. And when you kind of like veering out to the left,
That reality
somebody-
check. Yeah.
yeah, somebody to check you, like, no, you messing up. You need to get back on track. So I think that's
Right.
one of the biggest things. Somebody to just keep you on track. But for the most part, just it's really that one thing, and you just leave it at that.
You
Shannon.
said my boy, then, Jim. Yeah, because I agree on that too. Like, whenever I do get married again one day, I want my woman to kind of keep me in place to help me stay on track too. Because it's good to have that support with being married. Because when I was married last time, like, I felt and like, because I didn't ask for much, you know what I'm saying? But she wasn't by my side when I was falling. Instead of me trying to pick me up, she dug me down even farther, you know what I'm saying, trying to pick me up. So that's the only small thing I have to say about that. It's good if you married. It's good to have somebody else to support you, help pick you up when things get rough though, and kind of put you back in line again, saying that look, it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? But
Hey, so do you think you knew who you were marrying? Like JM said, know who you're marrying. Set those expectations.
I didn't really know. I guess that's my fault too, because I didn't set no type of expectations or no type of small ground rules. I just kind of was just winging and let her just do whatever though. But I feel like if I would have set those things, probably could have been different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead, but I was just winging it, man. But I didn't know what I was up against. Because
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's just a
I
little
got you.
bit. I'm telling you, but it taught me to what to look for in my next part of my next marriage. Like, I know now, you know what I'm saying, of what to do, and lay those ground rules out of, of my expectations of what she need to be doing and not to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so it taught me a lot going forward. So I guess, I kind of needed that, because if I didn't, I'd probably been like naive guy, you know what I'm saying? Just still letting them do whatever,
I
But,
got you.
that's all I have. I don't want to get too much.
All right. Hey, Shannon, Z stole the rock for a minute, but it's back to you.
Oh, back to me? Okay, all right now. All right now. Let's reel this thing back on in, But I said, for me, I think expectations should be set in the beginning of the relationship. Reason why I say that, why would you marry someone who can't meet your expectations?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you set them in the beginning, and as JM stated. But the reason being, because like, if you don't set what you want, you get what I'm saying, and then you mess around and marry somebody who can't give you what you want, the end of that story. At some point, you go feel like, okay, I'm not getting what I need to survive in this relationship. And for me, I think if you know your partner, then expectations should be met because y'all know each other.
Right.
And that's only gonna happen through trial and error and growth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So as long as reason why I say set them in a relationship, because in a relationship y'all should learn how to love each other. You get what I'm saying? And so that's where you go know what, okay, I expect this from you, I expect this from you. Like I don't expect this. So this is, you pick up what you pick up what they lack, so on and so forth. But as long as you keep loyalty and you compromise for your partner, because it's not a one-way street. And a lot of times we get selfish and we be like, well, you ain't doing this for me. It's when it becomes all about me, it becomes a problem. So
Right.
It's over with.
Yeah, you can expect your,
Oh, what you say? What you say? Joe,
He said
said
it's
it's
over
over.
with.
That's the biggest red flag when it becomes about me. I'm gonna pack my
Yeah,
bags.
man. When it becomes about you in a relationship, man, it's pretty much there's no relationship. It's two individuals now. Y'all not one no more. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm not married, but my advice is that, if I was, I would expect to have a partner to travel life with me. Meaning what I go through, she go through. What she go through, I go through. And
Right.
we tackle life together. You get what I'm saying? And that's where I think I said this before in previous episode where, the whole point of marriage is you got a partner to go through life and everything.
Right.
So
Yes, sir.
and don't be too private and try to pick up that battle together. You get what I mean? Alone. I'm sorry. Tackle the battle together. Don't try to choose it alone, because you have already went to God and got a partner to battle life with. So why won't you use that to your advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my little take
Yeah.
on it. Can't give too much. Y'all boys the married crew over there. You know what I'm saying?
T.O. what? You're what? 20?
Boy, listen here.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
dog.
at the pivot mark.
Hey, but man, my take on it, bro. I would say, man, as a man, you want to be able to make life as less stressful for your wife as possible. You know,
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Agree.
Um,
Yeah.
in a perfect world, you want to be able to get off work and come home to a happy wife, dinner on the table, kids running around happy. She can't wait to see you. But bro,
house on the
life
prairie?
happens. You know what I'm saying? You go home, you might have a long day at work. You come home, but your wife done been through stuff herself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep.
Kid, Magda done got on her nerves or whatever the case may be. So just off I ain't don't necessarily say expectations, but for one, I need transparency. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need for her to be able to tell me the things that she's going through. I need to be able to get that off my chest and, be able to tell her what I'm going through, and then to pick it back off Channing, man, that's my best friend. That's my teammate. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't need for I don't need for that to get bothered with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because now being married, if I can't come home to that, if I can't come home to my teammate, if I can't come home to somebody that I can release this stress off of, hey, we finna be in this. It's finna be a battle. So if I could get that, I'm good.
Hey, I tell you what, we set the bar real low. We ain't got no expectations.
It's because we simple, man.
Simple.
We don't.
Hey,
we
listen.
don't require much.
Yeah, don't let that social media stuff fool you, man.
Exactly.
When I tell you,
Men
when I
don't
tell you,
require
it's
nothing.
when I tell you this stuff is really, it really is simple.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, social media just hyped it up. Where man, you feel like you gotta buy a Lamborghini for a birthday,
Bruh, come on.
Yeah, you know what? And
You
I
should never keep
kinda-
up with the Joneses.
man.
I get
Never.
bogged down with social media. I gotta realize that stuff ain't real, man.
It ain't.
What people be talking about.
Bro, you gotta realize they showing the highlights of their life. That's not a every day-to-day task. You get what I'm saying? It's like we showing you the highlight of what they got going on, and half the time they just creating content. You get what
That's
I'm
all
saying?
it is,
Yeah.
bro. Content.
And so it don't even really be facts sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But I think we said if you basing your relationship marriage off social media expectations, then you know where it's getting to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's why I think that's the importance of this podcast. Why we 5 men, just average Joes, right? Speaking up from our perspective. We're not the richest. We're not the poorest neither, but but we're comfortable. We're comfortable.
I'm blessed, man. You know, gracious God.
Money
Yeah.
ain't everything, fellas.
Yeah, but we're just laying a foundation for to be real, right? What reality is. That social media and that hype, man, we can get caught up in it, and even our wives, right, can get caught up in it, and what they think, what they need, what they think they got to have, it's not really, it's really false. And it's our job to bring them back to reality, but in a good way, right? And just really drawing back in, like, hey, this is our marriage. This is what our expectations is, but this is what we agreed on when we said we do. So, your boys got planned for the rest of the week.
Hey, dog. Hey, I'm ready to meet you in the gym, man. I know you did nothing.
Oh yeah, man. I've been
You lying.
I'll be there tomorrow morning though.
Yeah, it's good content, Channy. Chill out, bro.
Should have our first.
I've been hitting hard lately.
Okay.
Should have our first. You hitting what now?
No, it's on the gym. I've been hitting the hard lately. Like I've been gaining a lot of weight.
JM, that was a pause, man. JM took it. Man, vicious.
But now got our first official football game Friday. So
Who y'all play?
Brookhaven nonetheless. Hey, I think
That's
ain't Corey
Corey
Brookhaven?
McClure.
Yeah, Corey, the coach
Yeah.
of the okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So
two Collins natives on the
two
sideline.
college natives. But,
Man, that's what's up, man.
if all goes well, man, we'll be playing. But that COVID, man, you never know now.
Oh yeah, that COVID,
I have
man.
no idea.
The vid go take y'all out, cuz.
That COVID.
We cancel due to the vid.
Hey, anybody else got anything else before we get out of here? No.
No,
Crickets.
life, man.
Crickets.
Nothing, man. That's it.
All right. Great topics and great content. Again, hey, this is the Pivot Podcast. This was episode 4, and we're just here every show, just bring you every show's perspective of some topics, man. How we get through some things and what reality really is, and don't just get caught up in hype on social media.
Yeah.
So hey, this is it. We'll be back next week for episode 5. I love this weekly meeting. It's really great being amongst a great group of guys and putting forth the content.
Hey, I'm gonna say something, man, that my kids are always running around here saying, man, and now I see the importance of it. Like and subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah.
Need that. Like and subscribe, man.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure y'all not only listen to it, but actually
YouTube.
subscribe to Apple Podcasts.
Subscribe, leave a review.
Subscribe to Spotify. Subscribe to YouTube.
Hey.
We got all these followers. It take nothing but 0.001 seconds to click that follow button.
Listen, it costs nothing to show love, people. It costs
Zero.
nothing to show love. You
Hey,
know?
I would love to see some reviews and how we're doing.
Or suggested topics. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, just some topics.
Mate, if it's negative, you might not want to put it right up under there. You know,
No, put the negative. Hey, put the
Yeah,
negative.
we can deal with
If it's negative, I will respond. I'm gonna be honest with you. Shannon will respond immediately.
All right, hey, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week.
Man, y'all be
Sir.
blessed.
I mean, y'all have a good one, fellas.